Good morning, everybody. Thomas here from the Three Buff Guys, or as we are now, the Two Buff Guys. Looks like William's not going to be out today. How are you doing, Pa?
I'm fine. I'm about as tired as you look, so I'm doing fine, but it's cold and it's wintry here, so it's hard to keep the mojo going. And you're right.
Same, same.
William unfortunately is working. He'd love to be here, but he needs to earn the money to pay the man, so he won't
Mm-hmm,
be here today.
mm-hmm.
But you got a cold day in Boise as well?
Oh, we do. Woke up. There's a nice little layer of frosting on the grass. So that's always nice.
You don't eat the frosting.
No, especially if it's yellow.
Anyway, this is a family show. We'll have none of that here, Thomas, please. So let's get down to business. There we were, episode 41. We've been nearly been going a whole year. We need to get a new picture for November since we're coming to a close of November. Next week will be the last week in the show, in the month. I had a piece of good news.
Yeah.
Piece of good news, I realized my spreadsheet was wrong. There was an error. So the good news is that I've done 4,737 kilometers. So I'm going to bust the 5,000 kilometer goal by the end of this year. And if you can tell me your updated miles, then I'll get those in as well.
Absolutely.
All right, so I'll start today. What went well this week? What went well for me was I managed to get the steps done. That's what went well. It was hard, really hard. I've not been moved. I've been tied to the desk a lot. Lots of work to do. I've not had the motivation to get out in the morning. I've always, every single day, I've gone out and done something as soon as I've woken up.
Mm-hmm.
In the past, in summer months, I would wake up and I would do maybe 3-4 miles in the morning. But at the moment, I'm just getting up and doing maybe 1.5 miles. So starting the day with 3,000 steps. And that makes it really hard to even make the minimum by the end of the day. But having said that, I made the minimum every day. I didn't have any exceptionally high day, but I kept making the minimum. How are you feeling? Feeling tired? No reason why. It's not as if I've overexerted myself. I find that not drinking the coffee is helping considerably. I've had coffee today and I had coffee yesterday, but definitely it helps having cut the consumption down considerably. So what about you, Thomas? What went well?
Getting into our busy season at work, and that's making me really stressed and all that. But it's been a good week. I'm still very happy with what's going on in life. Things are just going well in life so far. I feel good. I feel happy, excited, and motivated. We're coming to the end of a year, a crazy year. Hopefully that puts us a year closer to getting back to some normality. But just really excited for this upcoming holiday season. The challenge is 16K.
Next week is big holiday weekend for you, isn't it?
Yeah, Thanksgiving. Yeah.
That'll come on nicely to today's discussion topic. But, okay, so how did you do with your 16K?
I think I did all right.
Let me ask you again. How did you do with your 16K?
I think I did all right. Yeah.
Well, okie dokie. We'll discuss that when we get to the screenshots.
Okay.
With me and the 2K, with me and the 2K, I just didn't do anything. My weight is now the same this week as it was last week.
Yes.
I just couldn't get into it. No excuses. I just couldn't get into it. Next week, Or this week will be a better one. So I've set myself to red again with 5 weeks remaining. Sorry, with 4 weeks remaining. 4 weeks till Christmas. Scary.
Hip,
Yes.
hip, hooray for Christmas.
4 weeks, 9 kilos. I will do my best. I will do my best. As mentioned before, though, the distance goal is looking good. That one's going to be busted, so at least 50% will be done. Okay, right. And you? When do we get to see a picture of the 36s?
I soon, hopefully. I'm going to be aiming for Thanksgiving weekend, so next weekend. I think I'm going to be able to get them on
Before the weekend starts, not after.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
A big turkey.
So you're going to show a photograph of the label, photograph of you in them with them zipped up?
Yes.
Looking good. Okay.
Maybe a video of me breathing to prove that I actually can breathe in them.
Oh, that's not part of the deal. Your commitment was to get into them. So you get into them and then you made a major milestone.
Absolutely.
Not sure how William's doing. He's dropped off the radar. Need to catch up with him next week, or maybe I'll give him a call later this evening when he's finished work. Today's topic, portion control. This is where I've had a big problem this week. A few months ago, everything was measured, everything was moderated, or in moderation. But I've gone back to my old ways a bit. Been going for fruit in the evening, not occasionally ice cream. I wasn't doing that a few weeks ago, but a couple of nights a week ice cream. When I go for the fruit, I have lots of good fresh fruit, but then I put yogurt on it, and too big, too much. So how do you find it? How do you manage your portions?
When we moved out of our last place, we both realized that the plates that we were eating off of were too big. And so what we did was we bought much smaller plates. And I'm saying close to about half the size of what the original ones used to be. So I put an emphasis every meal that I make on vegetables. I like to have 2 kinds of vegetables. And so if I can make basically half my plate vegetables, then I'll be good. And I'm not talking a very thin layer of peas over a half a plate. I'm talking like a heaping spoonful of vegetables, and then try and get some kind of a meat or a protein, and then some kind of a I don't even know. Usually it's potatoes because we just really like potatoes, and it's getting into that cold time of year. But yeah, it's just all about trying to get smaller portions.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what other vegetables do you go for then?
Cauliflower, broccoli, peas, carrots. We'll have, instead of snacks, we'll have hummus and carrots. We'll have broccoli and hummus. It varies quite a bit. The other day, I actually tried something different. Put a little bit of olive oil in there in the pan, cut up some bell peppers, and reduced those down. And it was really nice. The bell peppers reduced, and they were really sweet. And it was just a little bit of oil and a little bit of those bell peppers, and it was like what do you call it when you get the onions, you put it in a pan, and it breaks down. It becomes really soft and whatnot.
Okay, so as an Englishman, I would say they were caramelized. As an American, you would say something different. You would say
Caramelized.
caramelized. I've spent some time recently trying to explain to my Austrian colleagues that the American and the English language are similar but different,
Mm-hmm.
because everybody, when we come to finish a telephone call or a meeting, they say, "Have a nice day." I say that's an Americanism.
Mm-hmm.
So caramelized. Okay, so yeah, so the bell peppers, that's a good idea. Have you done them on the grill as well?
I haven't done anything on the grill yet.
Why not?
I'm a little scared too. I've never grilled before. I've only ever seen you do it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is it
bought a new house, don't want to burn it down.
gas grill or charcoal grill?
I think it's a gas grill. It has a little rack underneath where you put the tank up, I believe.
Okay. Send me some photographs. You've got a smoker as well, haven't you?
We do have a smoker.
Cool, nice. Yeah, when we lived in Boise many years ago, we used to grill even in the winter. There'd be snow coming down. There would be 10 inches of snow on the ground, snow coming down, and I'd have the grill pulled up close to the back door.
Yeah.
Just stepping 1 or 2 steps out and grilling it. But yeah, if you take the bell peppers, just rub them with olive oil, put some salt on, and put them on the grill. The skins get burned. Flesh is really good. So, and it's healthy too.
See, there you go. Yeah,
But
it's just trying to
yeah,
find
go
better
ahead.
alternatives.
Sorry, say again. I didn't hear.
It's just trying to find better alternatives.
And what do you do when you go out then? You mentioned you were out for breakfast yesterday.
Hmm.
How do you control the portions there?
You can't really. They come to you as they come to you. But the best you can do is make conscious effort to prioritize certain things over others. We had so yesterday we went to a place called Cracker Barrel. It's one of my favorite places to eat breakfast in the world. It's great. And you always get good size. I would say Cracker Barrel isn't the biggest portions ever. They're very, very fair sized, but I wouldn't say they're necessarily huge. You get 2 eggs, one rasher of bacon, one sausage patty. It's I would say it's a good size, but not huge compared to some of the other places. But anyway, I would suggest prioritizing your meats over your pancakes, and that's very hard to do. But just picking and choosing what it is that's the best for you, and also having conversations while you eat, having conversations and stopping to enjoy them, because those conversations are going to it's going to give your belly enough time to register that it's getting fuller and fuller and fuller. And so that means you can come to a good stopping point and not have gone crazy. That's what we did yesterday. It worked really well. I enjoyed it, and I left quite a bit.
You're right about a few things you say. I have traveled to more countries on this earth than you have.
I believe it. Yeah.
And I would agree with your statement that it's one of the best places in the world to have breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
It is good. What I like about it is that the food is good quality. It's not the best ever, but it's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's consistent. The portions are reasonable. I would say, as a European coming to America, they are large rather than standard European size, but not big by American standards. I would say one of the things that makes it a great place to have breakfast is that you don't get pressurized to leave.
Yeah.
Normally you don't. So normally you've got the chance to do exactly as you say, to sit down
Mm-hmm.
and take the time to enjoy the whole experience rather than just, okay, right, so it's 8:15 now, let's get this meal finished and be out the door by 8:30.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you do that, if you take the time to talk, then I also agree that you tend to eat less. I was impressed when you told us yesterday that you didn't eat the pancakes, or you didn't eat all of them. That was impressive.
It's my favorite part of the meal, but you know they're bad. They're bad for you. They're bad for you.
They're not good for you.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So they must double fry them. They must make the pancake in the pan. Then when it's done, they toss it into another pan that's slightly oiled because it has this nice like this nice crunch on it. And this isn't the culinary show, so we're going to stick to the weight loss.
Yeah, and I think the crunch is probably caramelized sugar, but they're good. So, all right then. So, in the coming week, I'll keep an eye on the portions. I started well, but lost the interest. So I will stay with the small plates because we also have small plates. Your mother, she is my worst enemy because, like your grandmother and like your nan, your mum hates throwing any food out.
Mm-hmm.
So rather than putting it on her own plate, she puts it on mine. And she's still doing fantastically.
Good.
But that's not fair. So I will not accept it this week coming. We've had a great meal today. When I looked at the plate, I thought there's not that much there really.
Mm-hmm.
And your mum said, well, it was a healthy chicken tikka dish. So very flavoursome, not typically a Sunday lunch for an Englishman, but it was chicken tikka and the vegetables were potatoes and cauliflower spiced.
Mm-hmm.
And your mum said, I hope there'll be enough left for tomorrow. I think that if 4 or 5 people came to the door, there'd be enough to feed them left over, or enough left over to feed them. So there will be enough. Okay. This week's challenge. It's not very specific, but I've got to lose something, anything. I'll be happy with half a kilo at the moment. I'm going to get on the scale every day again. I've stopped doing it, and I don't think you do it, do you?
Not the way I should.
And I know that when I was doing it, it was working. The weight loss was going in the right direction, or the weight I was losing the weight. Now that I'm not doing it as much, the weight is staying constant or going up. So
Okay.
lose something.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
If it was working, why did you stop?
I cannot really tell you. I really don't know. It started with England yet again. We had the time in England where I wasn't weighing, but where I was doing pretty well, really, in terms of exercise. But since I came back, maybe it's because of the change in season. I think that's more of an excuse than a real reason. But I just can't get into it. And it's foolish because if somebody else was telling me they can't get back into it, I would say, well, what's stopping you? There's no reason why you can't. Nothing has changed. So I need to take my own advice and just get moving. I think like everything else, once I start to see the progress again, and that's the upside of getting on the scales every day. Once I start to see the progress, then I'm inspired to see more progress. So I'll let you know next week. Now, what about you for this week?
I think I might want to try and bumping up my steps.
Okay. What about the boxing? I think that starts on Saturday, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
Okay.
I'm excited. I'm nervous, but I'm excited.
So what would that be then? Like a half an hour session, or are you just going there by yourself? Is there a course starting?
No, it's an hour and 40 minutes.
Oh my lordy.
Yeah, this is who I am now. Rocky Balboa didn't get into shape overnight.
And what will it be though? Is there somebody there showing you the ropes, so to speak?
Yes. Yeah. She's this young 20-something-year-old. Already met her at a bridal expo. Doesn't have, she probably has never heard of the term pinch an inch because she's just looks like she's been vacuum packed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So certainly very fit then.
Yeah.
And do you think she'll be a good motivator?
I think it's going to go one of two ways. I'm going to end up loving her or I'm going to end up hating her. But I think I'm going to end up hating her.
Well, that's good then. That's good. Because if you end up loving her, then you're probably not being challenged enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so flatlining now. Not good. Gotta change. As for the steps, total number of steps this week has gone up. That's good news. Total distance has gone down. That's bad news. The reason is that many of these steps are steps that I've done just walking around the living room, so you don't have the GPS functionality on the watch.
Mm-hmm.
So the true distance number is this one, because in the last few weeks I've been doing mostly outside walking, so that's been mostly on the GPS.
Mm-hmm.
So I set my step goal a while ago to be 18,200, and I can't remember when I didn't achieve it last.
Mm-hmm.
Every day I do it. I see William. He's done well this week. He didn't sign up to have any more than, I think he signed up for 11,000 steps a day, but his step count's doing okay on average. No, he's right. So every single day he meets the minimum step goal. This is what I wanted to discuss with you there, because yes, you've got the average.
Yeah.
There were a couple of days here, at least the Sunday, where you fell short of the average, where you fell short of 16. And I think that's 15 there. I think 16 is about there. So I think that you were a couple of thousand short on Sunday, 1,000 short on Thursday. So overall, 9 out of 10 for effort. Come on, it's positive. Average over the week, 16,100. So you exceeded your commitment.
I did.
Depending on whether you take it average over the week or minimum per day. So what about then for the coming week to stay constant with the 16, unless you want to go up, but have no day with less than 16?
Okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna just add to that a little bit. I'm gonna bring it up to 16,500. That's what I want my minimum daily to be.
Sounds good.
That way, I'm getting a little bit of growth in there as well,
and a bit of shrinkage too.
Hopefully,
16,500. And I can tell you this because I've been in a similar situation on a few days, quite a few days, where I've been a couple of thousand short. If you just walk around the living room and the kitchen for 20 minutes, just watching TV, in and out, left and right and around, 2,000 isn't much.
Yeah.
So I shall be checking. Next week, I should be drawing a line across here and measuring. All right.
Okay.
All right then. But I think got to stop saying "but" because "but" is negative. Even so, when you take all things into consideration, what we're doing now compared to what we were doing back in January, this is best in class. This is good.
Yeah. This is good. This is really good.
So, yeah. What else?
Do what?
You're going to say something else. I didn't hear you.
No, I was just going to say I'm proud of us.
Me too. Definitely. And I look forward to the time when William can join us again, maybe next week.
Yeah.
If not, if he can't make it this time next week, we'll have to change the time so that the three of us can get together.
Absolutely.
All right, then. I'm going to press this button now. Do the honor, as always.
All righty, guys. Another week in the books. Happy to do it for you. We love meeting every Sunday. Have a wonderful week. Make great choices, and I will